This race wasn't just about winning, it was about control, precision, and dominance at the highest level. In this video, we take a detailed look at how Shericka Jackson defeated elite competitors including Elaine Thompson-Herah, Briana Williams, and Kemba Nelson in the women's 100-meter final. We break down the key moments that decided the race, acceleration, transition, and maximum velocity, and highlight the technical differences that gave Jackson the edge. This analysis also explores what this performance reveals about her current form and her chances on the world stage.
Through the heats, 11:23 in the semis, what does she deliver in the final?
And you talk about having brilliant starts. This young lady, she has a brilliant start, Kemba Nelson.
Also getting her first sub-11 this year. Kemba Nelson has done 10.97. She ran 10.98 in her semi. A stellar lineup, fantastic running. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is already on the team for the 100 meters to the World Championship, despite what happened in the semis.
On your mark.
The top three here will join Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
Conditions are right, and we have seen some great running so far in the 100-meter
On your mark.
This now to bring the curtain down. The show for day 2 of these championships.
The athletes seem to have not heard.
That means maybe the speaker is not working. Let's see. This is not the time for the speakers to stop working though.
So the second in command for the starters, Mr. Gregory Hamilton. Heard him twice giving the command on your marks. And there's some checks being done now with the system.
None of the athletes moved, which means we heard it better than they did.
Maybe we're the only ones who are getting on the marks.
Well, there's supposed to be a race between Bruce and myself.
I don't think that's the call for it. The athletes will keep themselves warm and active as the anticipation builds for this women's 100-meter final. 10.8, 9.85.
And if you're a viewer and you're nervous, it's okay.
It is, because Bruce is not a viewer and he's nervous.
I think I qualify as a viewer. I'm viewing the race. Jody, I'm viewing the race.
So it seems as if they've sorted out the issues. The green card being shown to the field, so we will do this for the third time. The final of the women's 100 meters. Natalia White in 1, Natasha Morrison in 2, Shericka Jackson in 3, Elaine Thompson-Herah in 4, Briana Williams in 5, Ramona Burchell in 6, Johnny Smith in 7, and Kemba Nelson in lane 8. They haven't been sent to their blocks just yet.
The starters testing the sound that the gun makes, and it's not a very convincing sound. When the system is at its best, we hear the shot loud and clear. So it's a combination of the instructions, meaning the on your mark and set instructions, but also very importantly the report of the gun. That sound, we've known on a couple of occasions this weekend, we've heard what I call the pool, the swimming sound, the swim start sound. All right, we're going to try from the start, and then the athletes only go based on the gun.
And then you lose the reaction time.
All right, so
Hey, move the mind.
let's see what will happen now for the 5th time, the women's 100-meter finals. Natalia White, Natasha Morrison, Shericka Jackson, Elaine Thompson-Herah, Briana Williams, Ramona Burchell, Johnny Smith, and Kemba Nelson. The set position now once again.
Set.
Set. On the way, final time, and now Briana Williams got a great start. Shericka Jackson is running superbly as well.
The women's 100 meters final at the Jamaican Championships offered more than just a national title. It provided a clear, technical demonstration of why Shericka Jackson has become one of the most complete sprinters in the world. In a field that included elite names like Elaine Thompson-Herah, Kemba Nelson, and Briana Williams, Jackson didn't just win. She controlled the race through superior mechanics and race distribution. The most important aspect of this race was how it exposed the evolution of Jackson's 100m model. Earlier in her career, particularly during her transition from the 400 meters, Her weakness was clear: the start phase. She lacked the explosive first steps needed to compete with pure 100m specialists. However, this race showed a refined approach. Her reaction out of the blocks was not the fastest in the field. That distinction clearly belonged to Williams, but it was efficient, controlled, and, most importantly, technically stable. Williams executed one of the strongest acceleration phases in the race. Her first 30 meters were aggressive, with high turnover and forward lean, allowing her to establish an early advantage. However, this aggressive approach came with a cost. As the race progressed beyond 50 meters, slight tightening in her mechanics became visible, particularly in her upper body. This is a recurring issue for Williams: an inability to maintain relaxation at maximum velocity. Jackson, in contrast, built her race differently. Between 30 and 60 meters, she began to close the gap without any visible increase in effort. This phase is where her 200m background becomes a decisive advantage. Her stride length naturally extends without overstriding, and her frequency increases in a controlled manner. The key detail here is posture. Jackson maintains an upright, relaxed position earlier than most of her competitors, allowing for more efficient force application into the track. By the 60-meter mark, the race dynamic had completely shifted. While Williams began to decelerate slightly and Nelson attempted to surge from behind, Jackson entered her strongest phase: velocity maintenance. This is where she is arguably unmatched in the current women's field outside of peak specialists. Her ability to sustain speed over the final 40 meters is a direct result of her 200m strength and her improved sprint mechanics. Nelson's performance deserves attention as well. Her late race push indicated strong speed endurance, and for a moment, she appeared capable of challenging for a higher position. However, the gap created during the acceleration phase proved too large to overcome. Nelson's race highlights a different limitation: a relatively slower transition phase, which prevents her from staying in contention with athletes like Jackson. As for Thompson-Herah, her race was more complex. At her peak, she has one of the most complete sprint profiles ever seen, combining explosive starts with elite top-end speed. However, in this race, she never fully established control. Her acceleration phase lacked the sharpness that once defined her, and without that early dominance, she was forced into a reactive race pattern, something that does not suit her strengths. While still competitive, this performance suggests that she is not yet operating at her absolute peak level. Jackson's winning time of 10.98 is significant not because of the number itself, but because of how it was achieved. There was no visible strain, no breakdown in form, and no reliance on external factors. It was a controlled, technically clean performance, the kind that translates consistently across different competitions and conditions. Another critical element is race distribution. Jackson did not win this race through a single dominant phase. Instead, she minimized weaknesses and maximized efficiency across all segments. Her start was solid, her drive phase progressive, her transition smooth, and her finish decisive. This balanced profile is what makes her particularly dangerous in championship settings, where rounds and pressure often expose technical flaws. From a broader perspective, this race reinforces Jackson's position not just as a contender, but as a benchmark. Her ability to adapt from the 400m to become elite in both the 100m and 200m is rare, and it gives her a unique advantage over specialists who rely heavily on one phase of the race. Looking ahead to the World Championships, the implications are clear. If Jackson continues to execute at this level, she enters as one of the most complete and reliable athletes in the field. Her strength lies not in overwhelming speed alone, but in her ability to deliver under pressure with technical consistency. In conclusion, this race was not about dominance through raw power, it was about mastery through efficiency. Shericka Jackson didn't just defeat a world-class field, she demonstrated why she is redefining what it means to be a complete sprinter in the modern era.